Hello. In continuation with complex number, today we'll have to discuss about Argand plane and polar representation of complex numbers. Argand plane, what is it? Argand plane. Or we can use the term as a complex plane or complex plane. Argand plane or complex plane. Let us understand about the plane Cartesian. What is a Cartesian system? X, y, minus x, minus y, is a 0. It's a Cartesian plane. On the Cartesian plane, this is x-axis, it is y-axis. Suppose we are going to represent any number like 2, 3. 2, 3. What does it mean? Meaning is, on x-axis, there is a distance of 2 from the origin, and y-axis, the distance is 3. And a representation of 2, 3. It's okay. That means intercept on x-axis is 2 and intercept on y-axis is 3. The point is 2, 3. This is the point. It's okay. What is it? It is the simple representation of Cartesian system, Cartesian pair. That means if you are going to represent in the form of Cartesian plane some numbers, so numbers are coming in the form of pairs, 2, 3, minus 2, 3, or whatever it is. All the numbers are lying in first, second, third, and fourth quadrant. Okay. So it is called the Cartesian plane. Now let us discuss about the Argand plane or complex plane. What is it? It is not a different plane, it's the same plane here, okay, and everything, all representation is same, no change in that, only the change in axis, 0, okay. Here what we have considered, we'll consider the x-axis as a real axis. Here we will treat this as a real axis, and y-axis is imaginary axis. Imaginary axis. Okay. One is a real axis, second is an imaginary axis. For example, suppose a number when we are going to represent the same number 2, 3. 2, 3 if we are going to represent. So what does it mean? Intercept on x-axis, that means intercept on real axis is 3. And intercept on imaginary axis is, intercept on real axis is 2. And intercept on imaginary axis is 3. This is the meaning. So because this is a complex plane and we are going to represent this 2, 3 as in the form of complex number. So rather than writing 2, 3, we will write here 2 plus I3. And this 2 plus I3, what does it mean? As a real part 2, imaginary part 3. That means intercept on real axis 2, intercept on imaginary axis 3. It's okay. So this is called Argand plane or complex plane. So not only this, suppose when we are talking about the first quadrant, the second quadrant, third and fourth quadrant. Is it okay? Here suppose if any number is there, so what to write here? Same 2, 3 is there. So I can write here minus 2, 3. How to represent this? Minus 2 plus 3i. First negative, second is positive. That means real axis is negative, whereas the imaginary axis is positive. On the third quadrant, minus 2 minus 3i. Okay. And in the fourth quadrant, what is it? 2 minus 3i. Okay. Let us see 2 plus 3i and 2 minus 3i. Let's see the difference. Same distance from the real axis. Same distance from the real axis. Okay, when we are going to find, because this 2 plus 3i, we represent as a complex number. Suppose this is representation of z, complex number. So z is equal to 2 plus i3 or a plus ib, whatever it is, whatever you want to take, a and b, a plus ib or 2 plus i3. Suppose we are going to find the magnitude or modulus value of z. So modulus value of z, what does it mean? This value we are finding, it is always positive, and using Pythagoras theorem here. So this is OAB. What to write here? OB square is equal to OA square plus AB square. And that's why I will use the term as in root, under root, square of real part plus square of imaginary part. Square of real part plus square of imaginary part. So it is 4 plus 9 under root 13. What is it? Its value is under root 13. And you know that this value, modulus value, is always positive. So we are discussing about this 2 plus I3 and 2 minus I3. Okay. Here what is the difference and what is the value of Z? It's also same thing, under root 13. Because the square of real part 2 square, square of imaginary part 3 square. Minus 3, that means it is plus 3 whole square. Okay. So minus 3 whole square, that means it is plus 9. So 2 plus I3, and what is it? What is called this? This is Z. So what is it? It is conjugate Z. So we'll use the term as a conjugate of a complex number. So conjugate, that means it's image along the real axis. Image along the real axis is called the conjugate of it. So if Z is equal to 2 plus I3, then conjugate Z is equal to 2 minus I3. It is okay. So what is it? What is the conjugate? I think in the before this topic eigenplane, I have told you about that conjugate, and one more thing I told you, modulus. Okay. So these are now the meaning you are understanding. What is the meaning of modulus and conjugate? So what is the conjugate of it? Conjugate is the image of a complex number along the real axis is called conjugate. It's okay. So Z is equal to this. So this is the representation of complex number on the complex plane or on the Argand plane. So this plane is known as Argand plane. So I think there's no difference in it. This is x-axis, y-axis, it is real axis, and that is imaginary axis. Okay. So that is one. After that, one is polar representation. Second one is polar representation. Okay. So in the complex plane, there are 4 quadrants, as you are aware of that. Okay. Polar representation, polarization of anything which is depend on the angle. Polar representation. Understand it. These are complex planes. I am making 4 complex planes. Okay. As you know that the real axis, imaginary axis, x minus x, y minus y. Okay. Again, when I am taking one complex number in the first quadrant, there are 4 quadrants. One, you know that quadrant are measured from anti-clockwise direction 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same as here 1, 2, 3, and 4. I discuss about from the first plane. I am taking one complex number z is equal to a plus ib. What is it? A plus ib. What is the meaning of it? Intercept on real part, it is a, and this real part is, sorry, imaginary part is b. Okay. This is p, origin, it is a. So you are aware of that this complex number in first quadrant, it is in the first quadrant from 0 to 90. Okay. So what is the value? O is a vertex of this angle. So this angle, suppose this angle is a theta. What is it? It is a theta, right? Because theta can increase like that, the value of p, it is also changing. So this angle is theta. It is in the first quadrant. Okay. Maybe possible that this point P is on the second quadrant. Then what is the condition? Suppose it is, this P is on the second quadrant here. This is P Okay. Now this angle is theta. Now what happened here? Complex number, because it is real axis on the negative and it is positive. So may I write here minus a plus ib. Okay. In the second, this is second thing. Third condition, possible that it is complex number on the third quadrant. Suppose here there is a p. Okay. Real, imaginary. Now the theta is this. Okay. And because both are negative, so may I write here minus a minus I b is a complex number. Let us discuss about fourth one. Is coming here. Then what happened? This is theta. X, y, minus x, minus y. And here what happened? What is the value of p? A is positive, a minus I b. Okay. You can see here in these four diagrams, the value of theta is starting from 0 and going up to 360. So that means the theta lies between 0 is less or equal to theta is less or equal to 360, or 0 is less or equal to theta is less or equal to 2 pi. Okay, in the radian form. But here, you know, one condition, suppose again this complex number, it comes in the first quadrant. Then what happens? The value is the same. Suppose this situation is coming here, but if it rotates like that, then what does it mean? The meaning is the value is theta plus 2 pi. Okay, same thing is there. So it is, I think, endless procedure. Whatever the number of revolutions are there, we can change the value 2 pi plus theta, 4 pi plus theta, 6 pi plus theta. The value remains same. Okay. So what happens? We can use the term as this is the actually we are going to a polar representation in which this is, what is the meaning of this? This is called argument. This theta is called argument or amplitude. Amplitude. It is called argument or amplitude of theta. Okay. Argument or amplitude. So that is the condition when theta lies between 0 to 2 pi. Okay. And you can understand that again the position is coming here. So here we are discussing about principal argument. What is principal? Principal argument or principal amplitude. What is principal argument? Principal argument, that means the value of theta which lies between minus pi to plus pi. Minus pi is less or equal to pi is less or equal to pi. Minus pi is less or equal to theta is less or equal to pi. Okay. So that means the theta lies between minus pi to plus pi. What is the meaning of it? The meaning is this is a complex plane. In this complex plane, this is 0 to pi because it is counterclockwise direction. Okay, that means it is treated as a positive. In anticlockwise, theta is positive. So this is positive. And that side, clockwise direction, 0 to minus pi, which is measured in the minus form. Are you aware of that? So what happened in the first and second? There is no problem. First is theta. Second is, this is also 180 minus theta, pi minus theta. Okay. So principal argument, in first and second there is no problem, it's okay. Right? Absolutely okay. Now let us see this. Here what happened? The value of amplitude, which is more than pi, because pi plus this portion. Okay. So this is more than pi. This situation, suppose it is here. Okay. This is the value of p. And the value of p is minus a minus ib. What is the value of theta here? The value of theta is, because it is, we are talking about up to this portion. Okay. What is this? This is theta. So here is, it is coming theta from here to here. This is minus pi and minus pi plus this portion. What is the value of this portion? Suppose this complete term, this is theta, and what does it mean? This is 2 pi minus theta up to here, 2 pi minus theta. Okay. So because here A and B, real part and imaginary part, both are coming in the form of negative. Okay. So here we can use this term, and here both the real parts and imaginary part are treated in the form of minus. Okay. So here we can use the term as a pi minus theta, right? Pi minus theta. Fourth one is this portion. This is pi minus theta. And what is this? Its value is suppose theta, but measurement in the negative. So last one is minus theta. Okay. So A minus IB is in the form of minus theta. And in the third part, in the principal argument, minus A minus IB, pi minus theta. Okay. Right. Let me tell you what is the meaning and how will you find the value. Because one term, as you know that from the trigonometric functions, ACTS, okay, in a quadrant plane, same term will be used in the complex plane also. All positive, cos and sec positive, tan and cot positive, and sine and cosec positive. Okay. So principal value is, what does it mean? Lies between minus pi to pi. It's okay. Lies between minus pi to pi. This is the meaning. Is keeping the same thing in our mind, and now we are going to represent in the form of polar form to any term. Okay. So this is giving here like that only. Yes, look at this. Suppose this is the P in the first quadrant, and we are going to represent in the polar form, polar representation. Okay. Polar representation, that means we are going to change in the form of trigonometric term. A plus IB, Z is equal to what is this? A plus IB. Okay. This is the value of Z. Now let us see in triangle POA. In triangle POA, this is the angle, this angle is a perpendicular 90 degree. So what happened if I use here sine theta? Then what will be? The value of sine theta is equal to opposite side upon hypotenuse. Opposite side is B upon hypotenuse is, suppose this value is magnitude of Z and is equal to, I am taking this as R. So sine theta is equal to B upon R. Okay. And what is B? This is imaginary part. So sine theta is equal to imaginary part upon modulus of Z. And modulus of Z, suppose it is R. So that means the value of B is equal to R sine theta. Same as in the same triangle POA, if I use the term as a cos theta. Cos theta. What is cos theta? Base, that means adjacent side upon hypotenuse. Adjacent side, real part, it is real part, so real intercept X upon, A upon R. Cos theta is equal to A upon R. So this means A is equal to R cos theta. These two values will be replaced in place of A plus IB. Then what does it mean? Z is equal to A R cos theta plus I R sin theta. So Z is equal to R common cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay. This is called polar representation. What is it? It is called polar representation. Now here the condition is, when we are going to find the principal argument or principal amplitude, so this theta should lie between minus pi to plus pi. Okay. It's very simple now. What happens if first term, this is the representation of real part, and it is the representation of imaginary part. Okay. So here what happens? Suppose both are positive. When we are talking about Z is equal to A plus IB, Here which condition is there? Both are positive. So both are positive, that means in the first quadrant all are positive. The value is r sin theta, r cos theta plus I r sin theta. There is no problem. The value of theta lies between 0 to plus pi. But the second case, what happens? Z is equal to minus a plus ib. And minus a plus ib, that means it is cos is negative. First value is negative and second is positive. What happens? It lies in the second quadrant. And in second quadrant, what happens? As sine and cosec positive, others are negative. That means sine is in second quadrant. What happens? Cos theta plus I sin theta. Here, if in second quadrant this is negative and it is positive, so it lies in the second quadrant. Okay, it lies in the second quadrant. When we are talking about the third quadrant, where what happens? Both are negative. Minus a minus ib, that means it is in the third one, and minus a minus ib is given. So here what should be done? We are taking both are negative values of theta, okay, because it is measured in clockwise direction. And fourth one is z is equal to a positive minus ib. This is in the fourth quadrant. That means first is positive and second is negative. So it is in the fourth quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant what happened? It is minus theta only. Okay, so these are the principal argument. Let us take one example and then you will understand it. By the way, any term is given if you are going to represent in the polar form. So while seeing the term in the complex number, we will understand that the value of p, value of z lies in which quadrant? First, second, third or fourth. Okay, if in the first and second quadrant, then theta is positive. It is in the third and fourth quadrant, theta is negative. That means the value is negative. So here in the two cases in the principal argument, what happened? Theta is negative. Okay, theta is negative. So this is the polar representation. X is equal, z is equal to r cos theta plus I r sin theta. Okay. Now we can start exercise 5.2. Exercise 5.2. Find the modulus and arguments of each of the complex number. Exercise 5.2. Question number 1. Find the modulus and arguments. Find modulus and argument. Find modulus and argument of each of the following complex number. X, z is equal to minus I minus z is equal to minus z is equal to minus 1 minus I root 3. Minus 1 minus I root 3. Is it okay? Find the modulus and argument. That means we are going to find the value of mod z and theta. Okay. Modulus. Mod z. What is it? Direct formula. Square of real part plus square of imaginary part. What is the square of real part? Minus 1 plus square of imaginary part minus root 3. What is the result? Minus 1 square, that is 1 square of root 3 is equal to 3 under root 4, and that means it is plus 2. Modulus, it is plus 2 because length of the length or distance from origin to the point P. Okay, or the point Z. Now argument. Okay, arguments of theta. Or this is what is amplitude. So for finding the amplitude, first the representation of polar form. May I write here z is equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta. Is it okay? Because when we are talking about -1 and minus I root 3, so simply I think the value of this is in this third quadrant, right? And in third quadrant we have to measure the theta in this direction minus, okay, right? So what is the value here? Let us see. Cos theta is equal to what happened? A real part upon r. Real part is -1, so it is -1 upon 2, and sin theta is equal to imaginary part minus root 3 upon 2. Now I'll see that in the third quadrant sin and cos both are negative, okay? So the value of 1 upon 2, what is the value of 1 upon 2? In cos, it is cos 60 pi by 3, okay? And here the value is sin 60 sin pi by 3. So pi by 3 is coming. And pi by 3, 60 is coming. What does it mean? This is minus pi. This is minus pi. And from the minus pi, when we subtract 60, so what is coming here? This is minus 120. So that means this measurement is minus 120 degree. So how to write here? We can write here the value of theta is equal to 1 upon 2, 60, that means pi by 6. Pi minus pi by 6. What is coming? Pi minus, by the way, it is coming pi plus 60, 240 is there, okay? But we are counting from here. So what is this? This is coming here 60 plus 180, 240. So 240, this is 240, 360 or 120. So this portion is remaining 120. Is it okay? Here what happens? Total it is coming up to here. This is 240 because 180 plus 60. This is 240. Okay? That is total minus pi. And from the pi when we subtract here 60, then it is coming minus 2 pi by 3. Okay. So here I can write here pi plus 60 pi by 3. Okay. Pi plus pi by 3. 180 plus 60, 240. So 240 is 4 pi by 3. But this is coming in that it is not a principal argument. For finding the principal argument, what is the value of this? The value of this is equal to, simply we will write here minus 2 pi by 3. Okay, minus 2 pi by 3. We can use the term as minus pi plus pi by 3. So minus 3 pi plus pi minus 2 pi by 3. Minus pi plus pi by 3. Okay. How is it minus pi plus pi by 3? Minus sign. It is pi minus pi by 3. Because this is minus pi. It is minus pi minus this portion is pi by 3. So pi minus pi by 3, it is 2 pi by 3 with minus 2 pi by 3. Okay. So that means the value of theta is equal to minus 2 pi by 3. Because the value of theta lies between minus pi to plus pi. And when we are going in that direction, so there, here the value is coming 180 plus 60, 240. But in this direction, what happens? It is 180 plus 60. So this 60 will be subtracted from minus pi. Then what happens? So I'll write here minus sign pi minus pi by 3, 2 pi by 3. Okay. Are you understanding this concept? This is minus pi. From that, this portion is subtracted. So remaining is this. It's minus 2 pi by 3. Okay. Second question of it. Second question, it is given that minus root 3 plus I. Minus root 3 plus I. That means it is plus 1I. Okay. First modulus, mod z is equal to r is equal to square of real part plus square of imaginary part. Real part minus root 3 whole square plus real part 1 square. Again it is 3 plus 1 4, that means it is 2. So the value of r is equal to 2. Argument. Right here in the form of z is equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay. Which situation is there? Here the real part is negative and imaginary part is positive. That means we are talking about the second quadrant here. Okay. So no problem. Direct value can be found, obtained. Theta will be positive. Cos theta. Cos theta is equal to real part upon r. So what is the real part? Minus root 3 by 2. Sin theta. Sin theta is equal to imaginary part 1 upon 2. Okay. Root 3 by 2. Pi by 3, pi by 6. 1 by 2 inside it is pi by 6. So what does it mean? Pi by 6. Okay. And because 1 is negative in the second quadrant, what happens? It is coming 90 plus pi by 6, 30, 120. Okay. So this value is 120. So theta is equal to what should I write here? I can write here, this is pi minus pi by 6. So 5 pi by 6. Okay. This is total pi, and from the pi we'll have to subtract pi by 6. Okay. So 5 pi by 6. What is coming here? 150. Root 3 by 2, 30. So it is coming, I think, 1 by 120 will be coming, because cos theta is root 3 by 2. It is coming cos 30 pi by 6. So 90 pi by 2 plus pi by 6. What is this? The value is coming here 120. Theta is equal to 120 degree. And 120 degree, what does it mean? It is 2 pi by 3. Okay. 90 plus 30, 120, and 120 is coming 2 pi by 3. So you can see that when root 3 by 2 is negative in the cos and 1 by 2 positive in the sine, it comes in the second quadrant. The value of theta is equal to 2 pi by 3. So argument theta is equal to 2 pi by 3 with plus sign. Okay. Because this is the value which is less than pi. So this is second question. Now let us see the next question of this exercise. Convert each of the complex number given in exercise 3 to 8 in the polar form. Convert in the form of polar form. Third question, 1 minus I. Okay. Third question. Convert in the polar form. All the questions, okay, one by one, we are converting into the polar form. 1 minus I. Let z is equal to 1 minus I. What is the situation? 1 minus I, real part is positive and imaginary part is negative. So it means it comes in fourth quadrant, right? And answer is coming, theta is coming in the form of negative. So z is equal to the polar form r cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay. Z is equal to r cos theta plus I r sine theta. For finding the value of r, z or r is equal to square of real part plus square of imaginary part. Real part square, 1 square, that is 1, plus minus 1 square, that is also 1. So 1 plus 1, it is under root 2 in the root. R is equal to under root 2. Cos theta is equal to imaginary part or real part upon r. So real part upon r, that means 1 upon under root 2. Sin theta, imaginary part, minus 1 upon root 2. Is it okay? 1 upon root 2 and minus 1 upon root 2. So it comes in the fourth quadrant where cos is positive and sine is negative. So 1 upon root 2, the value is cos. In the cos 1 upon root 2, the value is cos pi by 4. 1 upon root 2 in the sine is pi by 4. Okay. So that means the value of theta is equal to pi by 4 with minus. Okay. Because it is in the fourth quadrant. So the principal argument is this. Now let us represent in the form of polar form. Z is equal to r, that is root 2 cos theta cos minus pi by 4 plus I sine minus pi by 4. Okay. You remember always when this complex number is coming in the third quadrant or in the fourth quadrant, the value of theta is always in the form of negative. And first and second, it is in the form of positive. You remember this thing? And that you can remember on the basis of that ACTS. This is a trigonometric system in the Cartesian plane. Okay. One or two questions I am taking from this exercise. One is, this is minus 1 minus I. Question number 5. Minus 1 minus I. Fifth question. Minus 1 minus I. Okay. So Z is equal to minus 1 minus I. Here the representation of polar form. What is polar form? Z is equal to R cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay. First we are finding the value of R, by modulus of Z means R is equal to under root square of real part minus 1 square plus square of imaginary part minus 1 square. It is 1 plus 1, 2 under root 2. Okay. Cos theta is equal to real part upon R. Real part minus 1 upon under root 2. Sin theta is equal to imaginary part upon R. Because both are negative, that means the value comes in the third quadrant. It's okay. Value is coming in the third quadrant, and third quadrant is 180 plus theta. So let us see what is coming here. What's the value of theta is 1 upon root 2, that means pi by 4. Pi by 4, pi by 4. So 180 plus 45, 225. Okay. So what is the value of this term? 180 minus 45, 135. Okay. So may I write here theta is equal to minus pi minus, what is the value of this? 45, pi by 4. So it is 4 pi minus 3 pi by 4 minus 3 pi by 4. Okay. 3 pi by 4, 45, 3 yeah, it's okay. 9135. So minus 3 pi by 4. This is the value of theta. And therefore polar form Z is equal to root 2 cos theta cos minus 3 pi by 4 plus I sin minus 3 pi by 4. This is the representation of polar form. Okay. Actually, one more method we have for finding the value of theta here will convert into the form of tan. Okay. Suppose this value we are finding, so that is total value minus this, and when we are using the tan theta, so tan theta is equal to what happens? So imaginary part upon real part in magnitude, okay? But I think you will remember in the coordinate form, it is more convenient for you. One more question, I am taking the last question from this exercise. That is simply, it is given that suppose question number 8 I am taking I. 8 question I. Only I is there. So Z is equal to, can I write here 0 plus 1I. Okay. What is the value of modulus of Z? R is equal to square of real part 0 square plus 1 square under root 1, that is it is 1. Okay. Polar form, Z is equal to R cos theta plus I sin theta. Let us see 0 plus I, it is coming in which quadrant? Only real part, imaginary part is there. Here. Okay. So that is on the axis. Actually, it is on the imaginary axis. It is on the imaginary axis. So the value is coming, it is pi by 2. Simple. So now let's find out the value. Cos theta is equal to real part upon R. What is the real part? 0. So 0 upon 1, result is 0. Sin theta is equal to imaginary part, that is 1 upon 1, it is 1. Cos 0, pi by 2. Sin, cos, the value of 0 in cos 90. The value of 1 in sin 90, pi by 2. Okay. So that means the value of theta is equal to pi by 2. So the polar form is Z is equal to R1 cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. Okay, so cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. Okay, that's all. So this is the representation in the polar form and Argand plane. Okay, in my next lecture we'll have to discuss about what is it? Okay, quadratic equation. Till then, bye. Thank you. Thanks for watching.